or the Ten Commandments are written was there. But the writings of the Ten Commandments was also, in a way, it has been written in a circle. Thus, these words will be facing each other. So all in anywhere turn and see, that was the biggest miracle of the Ten Commandment. That if you see it any way, any side, it'll the words will be facing each other. That's how the words will be written, folks. And why this should be written on face to face, why the cherubims were sitting face to face, why the Ark of the Covenant should be carried by the Levites by face to face walking. Why? Because this is what exactly it means, meaning that when God tells or God told the Torah or the mitzvah, and the response of the Jewish person is supposed to be the way that God expects. That's how it is. God is telling the order and God is giving the commandment and the response of the Jewish. That's why it has been face to face. Do you know in those days, when God was giving this response, giving these commandments, Jewish people they used to die because when God gave, I am the God and no other God for you, you should be having or entertaining or celebrating. So when God said this one, Jewish people, most of them, they literally died because they could not take this one inside the heart, and then they literally dead on those days. So the mitzvahs, the commandments have such a big power that it'll penetrate through your heart, and you have to be responsible enough to give a response to that God. You have to practice the Torah in your life. You have to read the Torah in your life. You have to, in order to get these things done, squared out, you need to be engraving all this Torah in your heart, or you should be immersed in the heart, in the Torah. That's what the Bible expects it. The Bible expects the Torah should be done in a way that God expects you to read every single minute, because it takes a lot of effort to engrave. Since David missed the point of carrying the Ark of the Covenant, which was supposed to be carried face to face position, he totally forgot that, and then he gave Uzzah was been punished for that one. So, folks, in order to reveal all these things, in order to get a clear confirmation all these things, a clear understanding all these things, we need to follow, we need to study, we need to work along with the Jewish people, because they lived with God was with them, and God walked with them. Only through them we can learn and understand more about the Bible. See, in order to understand the Bible correctly, exactly the way it should be, it has to be done in a Jewish way. That's why I was encouraging you guys to follow the Bible in a way that we are supposed to be following it. It's not the way that all the other people or what we are teaching or what being taught all these years. So there are so many things that you will be learning, because the language, the Bible, everything was given to them first. So we need to make sure that we are understanding exactly the Bible. I'm here to make combine these things, that I'm not asking you to become a ritual person or a traditional person or giving some sacrifices and walking away. It is not that I'm talking about learn from those days what they did and apply to our daily life here today. So in order to be a successful Christian in your life, it's we already discussed the three levels of the living life since yesterday, from when we were reading the Behar 3 Torah portion. In this portion, you'll understand why a Jewish guy should keep the Torah in his heart, why the Torah must be kept in his heart, why the mitzvahs are supposed to be engraved in his hearts. See, there are apart from 613 commandments God gave, all of them he wrote in his own hands and he engraved on the slabs. Engraved means something is more concrete, more solid, more more in depth to that one. We must understand that one about that doesn't mean that the other 613 is not important. They're also important, but this is more specifically engraved in the slabs. So, how many of us we know all the Ten Commandments? We don't know anything about that one. Not many of the people, especially only a few commandments we might be knowing. And in order to practice properly, we need to learn everything completely and thoroughly. So the uh, the Torah portion today that we were talking about is about the Behakoisai, but about the statutes. So how a Jewish person is supposed to keep this statute, this mitzvah in his heart engraved, the same way that we also need to keep the Torah portions or the Lord's mitzvah in our heart, engraved.